Welcome to Candidates Night, sponsored by the League of Women Voters of Wayne County, the University of Akron Wayne College, and the American Association of University Women, Worcester Branch. I'm Cindy Biggs, past president of the League of Women Voters, and I will be serving as your moderator for this evening. Tonight, we're going to be hearing from candidates who will be running for the Wayne County Commissioner, Judge of the Court of Appeals, 9th District, with terms starting February 9th, 2011, February 10th, 2011, and February 11th, 2011, and the representatives to Congress, the 16th District. The League of Women Voters is a national, nonpartisan organization with a deep concern for informed voter participation in government. We have sponsored candidates' nights for many years so that each candidate can have a fair and equal forum for being heard. It is also a chance for you to have your questions addressed by the candidates to better meet our goal of giving voters the opportunities to be informed before casting their ballots. We will take both written and oral questions from the audience. Be sure you write what office, thank you, you want your questions to be addressed to. We've already received some that we don't know who they're supposed to be addressed to. Candidates then will have 1 minute to answer the written or oral questions posed by the audience, and then they would be offered the opportunity to make an additional comment or add to their original statement if they wish, with a 1 minute time limit. So there's no mandatory additional response, just if they would like to speak after the other person has had a chance to do that. Just because one candidate uses additional time, other candidates are not required to do that. And as moderator, I will have control over the flow of the debate and will determine when to move on to another question. So we do have timekeepers sitting at the table in front here. They're going to display cards indicating the time remaining to answer questions posed to the candidate, whether it is 1 minute, 30 seconds, or stop, and candidates must finish their sentence when the stop card is raised. Audience members may ask their question from the microphone located in the center aisle. They must identify themselves before asking the question. I will call on them when I'm ready for them to ask their question as well. Audience members may also write questions on a card. We have a table of screeners who are going to be reviewing these questions. Some of those questions may be edited or combined. All questions may not be used due to time constraints. Please direct your questions to all candidates for the office and keep your questions brief. Please ask your question in the form of a question. We do not want comments. And we also want to make sure that I ask the audience to please refrain from applause or any other comments after the candidates address the question. Informal questions may be asked of all candidates following the formal part of the meeting. Printed material on the candidates are available outside the door on tables. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get on with our forum this evening. I will introduce first off the unopposed candidates that will not be joining us at our forum. That includes Judge Mike Wiest.
Mark.
Is he here? Okay, thank you. Mark, I'm sorry. Corey Spittler. And Jara Underwood, the county auditor. Okay. And I don't believe Representative Ron Omstedts is here, is that correct? All right. Okay, so on the stage tonight for the first group of candidates that are joining me includes candidates for County Commissioner Ann Obrecht and our write-in candidate Charles Grassman. We also have judicial candidates for the Judge of Court of Appeals 9th District term. We have Carla Moore. Her opposition William Wellenmeyer will not be attending. We also have Donna Carr. Her opposition, Robert Brown, will not be attending. And we also have Beth Whitmore. Her opposition, Rita Rochford, will not be attending. We will start with questions from the audience for the County Commissioner candidates first. So if you have a question you'd like to ask orally, please go to the microphone. Otherwise, we'll start with some of the written questions. Do you want to go to the microphone, please? Okay. Okay, we'll start with you. Go ahead and state your name.
My name is Dan Flory. I'd like to ask the county commissioner candidates, will you support any increase in taxes, fees, to balance the county budget, or do you feel that you possibly, if you can only lay off and limit so many people, would you consider reducing salaries of people that work in the county? Thank you.
Okay, let's start with Ms. Obrecht.
Okay. I think that my record speaks for itself. We worked very hard to pass a budget that was balanced by reducing our expenditures. In these tough economic times, it is not a time in which to raise taxes. In 2008, we started the reductions, and started in 2009 and then in 2010. I want to say that what we have done has been very successful. Wayne County right now, the general fund is stabilized, and we did it without raising taxes. As we go forward, we have a challenging year ahead of us because we don't know what's going to happen at the state. We intend to look at different ways of combining and streamlining offices in order to provide the services necessary within the revenues that we have.
Okay, Mr. Obrecht.
No.
I mean, Mr. Grassman. I'm sorry, yeah.
I would agree. I do not believe that raising taxes to generate the revenue is necessarily the best course of action. With today's economy decreasing and declining revenue and increasing expenditures, it is a challenge to run a balanced budget for the county. I agree with Ann in the fact that you have to find ways to combine responsibilities, streamline some of the things that you do as a county to maybe get the budget in line and keep it in line. Not being a current commissioner, I do not know that laying off more people is necessarily the answer. There's been a lot of people laid off, and I think that can affect how much money you also have coming in when you continue to lay people off and they leave the county area because they don't have work. That affects your bottom line as well. So I'm not sure either one of those are a good way to balance the budget at this time.
Okay, do either of you have any further comments you'd like to make to that question?
I'd like to reiterate that the cuts that we've made have worked. It was through careful planning that we have reached the position that we are now. And to say that our general fund is stabilized is a success story, because I can tell you there are many counties across the state that cannot say that at this time.
Thank you. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to a written question then from the audience. Please describe your qualifications for this office. Again, please describe your qualifications for this office. Mr. Grassman.
My qualifications are I'm in my third term as a voted-in trustee of a large established congregation in the Wayne County area. I've served on that board now. This is my third voted-in term. We oversee a very large budget, also assessing projects, keeping the budget for that congregation balanced. Also, just the amount of time that I've spent volunteering in the community and working within different organizations in the Worcester area has led me to get to know the citizens of Wayne County and the needs of the county, and I believe those things will help me in this position.
Okay, Ms. Obrecht.
I believe that my experience as commissioner is first and foremost. I have proven fiscal accountability, proven ability to manage the county's budget. My experience as a business owner is also paramount. I understand the business community and what it takes to run a business and what it takes to keep jobs. I have done a lot of service in the community also. I have, through Worcester Rotary, through Farm Bureau, through Family and Children First Council, United Way, my church, St. John's Lutheran Church, I have had multiple opportunities to serve the community. I also have sat on state boards. I sit on the board for urban rural relations for the Ohio State University. I have sat on a board for the OSU Extension Office at the state level. So I have those experiences also. I also hold a bachelor's of education. I have had experience in education. I was a former teacher prior to my husband and I starting our business, and so I also bring that experience to the table.
Okay, any further comments from either of you on that question?
I would like to add, I didn't really go through a resume of my jobs or things that I've done in the past, but some of the things that I have done that I think also help qualify me for this. I'm a quality lab technician where I work, where I oversee a budget for the lab. Again, I mentioned the many things that I volunteer in. As an assistant high school football coach, I'm charged with not only leading young men, but also being part of a staff of coaches that we have to work together. So I know how to work well within a team framework with other commissioners, as this is a board of more than one person, but I also know how to take the lead and make things happen. And so I think those things also would be a great benefit in this position.
Okay, anything else? Yeah. Okay.